Yeah. In everything, if you wanna accomplish something, you're gonna have a teacher or couple of teachers. In a profession, if you learn a profession to work in, you need professional to teach you the skills. The same is with Buddhism or Hinduism or just Taoism or other religions like Muslims or Chinese or just like this. So you need a teacher, and teacher must be in succession of disciples, not only first fellow, not only first person, but you need a real teacher who is empowered by his teacher and who was empowered by his teacher in succession. Starting from Buddha through Mahakasyapa and Kanada and Ananda and others until 28th patriarch of Buddhism, Bodhidharma, and next 6th patriarch Huineng, who wrote Platform Sutra. So succession of disciples is necessary to teaching be alive and true. And in my case, I'm not in succession of disciples. I'm just amateur, not professional. So I'm just doing my private rodeo with this Buddhism, with this Zen. I had two teachers in succession of disciples. Zen Master Sun Sang and Tibetan Lama Geshe Khenrab. Also I had divine teachers, like visitors in the factory where I was working from Sri Lanka. Shivalingam and Ganesha Piluai. Also some kind of Iranian man, Saeed, who I suspected to be a Krishna in disguise. Shiva, Krishna and Ganesh, like that. I was working with them in factory, Biały Kur factory in Montreal in 80s, like that, in 80s, yeah. Also, I met in that house two women, elder women, who took care of me about the life-saving teachings of everyday life. And also one uncle, Ziggy, who ended up also in that house in the end of his career, of his life. So I had 3 nuts. I'm fourth nut. 2 Buddhist teachers, monks, and there was 5. Shivalingam, Ganesha Piluai, Said, Jayananda and Bala. So from Sri Lanka teachers, more colleagues than teachers, but I learn a lot of from them about Vaikunta and Krishna and Buddha. We were talking in the, during work about many things. So if you wanna be enlightened, you cannot do it on by yourself. You can practice a lot of meditation readings, but if you are not empowered, if you have no blessing of your teacher, you're gonna be doing in vain your practices. And if you just have blessing of Rama, or if you have good teachings of Zen Master, correct teachings of Zen Master, and true teacher and true friend, because if your Zen Master is not your friend, it is not complete Zen Master. And it happened that I didn't meet personally my Zen teacher, but we were writing to each other for about 24 years, and we were pen pals like this. And I just got great help from those letters he wrote to me. His last letter, written 1 month before his expiring date, was something like, go on this, they don't know, don't make anything, put it all down. When hungry, eat, when tired, sleep. That is all. That was his last words towards me from Zen Master Sun San, Korean Zen Master. And he passed away a month later in November 2004. So if you wanna succeed in enlightenment, you need a good teacher. There are many teachers, but there are not many good teachers who fit your mentality and your predispositions. For example, my Nata teachers Angela, Kasia, and Ziggy were perfect teachers. They were better than monks, better than Zen masters, better than any other teachers. They were the best teachers I ever met in my life. And I met them in Nut House. 2 of them in Nut House, and one ended up in Nut House. My mother locked him up in Nut House in the end of his life. Like that. He was young, 65 years old, when he passed away in that house. Heart attack. Like that. They told me he passed away on a heart attack. Ziggy. Yeah. Round up by police. By Montreal police. In his life. They damaged his ear by batons, by stick. They beat up him in the cell. When he was arrested, maybe when he was 50, because his wife locked him up in the basement, and he wanted to eat a cutlet. Was screaming, yelling, so she called police on him, and police arrested him. and took him to prison. And in prison cell they beat him up with batons, like that. That was the real teacher. And Angela and Kasia also experience with life teachers, living life on the edge, like that. So if you wanna be Buddha, you cannot make it by yourself. It's impossible. You need guidance. Somebody who is Buddha already, and he can give you instructions, pointers, and he can check out on your progress in your meditation and in your everyday life. What are you thinking about, and how are you thinking? What do you know? How do you see things? Like that. Experienced teacher can guide you and he can make you Buddha. An experienced teacher, he can guide you and he can make you confused. Like Osho or Adyashanti or something like that. They confused my friend Javi Gomez from Amsterdam or from Rotterdam, I don't remember now. But he was looking for enlightenment and he fell prey to false teachers. They told him something on the outset of his practice, of his study, and he was in head, touching head because of that. Very obsessed with enlightenment and obsessed with becoming a no-doer. They taught him to become a no-doer. And when he was explaining no-doer to me, he was telling me that he's not doing his things, but universe is doing things for him. When he defecates, when he eats something, when he sleeps, he's not doing these things, but universe is doing these things. Like that. Or just he is changed into Krishna flute. That Krishna plays flute, and this flute is moving his hands and legs and moving his body around in the world. Something like that, some ideas like this he incorporated into his mind. And no wonder he was treated mental also in that house as schizophrenic, and he disappeared. One day he disappeared, and I don't know where he is now and what is going on with him. But this is the example of false teachers on the beginning of your path. If you have the wrong teacher, you will have the wrong result. And there won't be any enlightenment or any progress or any release from kleshas or vexations, from anger, from jealousy, from fears, from paranoia. You can get paranoid with improper teacher, or you can get abused, like those women abused by Tibetan teachers, like that, let me see, Chogyam Drungpa or Sogyal Rinpoche. Those fuckers, like that. So if you have correct teacher, he can give you 2 words, 3 words, and that's it. And you practice with that, you work with that. with his instructions, and he will check on you, and he will tell you how it's with you. So when I was with Zen Master Susan acquainted, I was not close to my true self, so I couldn't get any perks from him. But I'm not worried. I don't need any perks. I don't need any diploma or any diploma of Zen Master or becoming a monk or lama. It doesn't interest me. What interests me is everyday life. How can I use Zen in my everyday life? And I use Zen in everyday life. Zen, without teaching Zen my mother. I live with my mother, and I do together action with her and with my cat. Together action, and there is no problem. There is no squeaks, no zips, not any fights. There is harmony, and mommy is happy. Mommy is happy, cat is happy, and I have peace of mind. Like that. So if you are trying meditation, seek a teacher who can guide you in meditation, who can tell you mistakes you make in meditation, or just progress in meditation, who can confirm your breakthrough, whatever you practice. Zen Master Sun San was practicing Don't Know Mind. So Don't Know Mind is very easy, but also very difficult. Not so easy at all, especially when you are preoccupied by thinking. If you have a lot of thoughts, a lot of thinking, this is too much thinking. And if you keep Don't Know Mind, if you return from your thinking to Don't Know Mind, then your thinking can simplify, and you can make thinking go away, and only rest in non-thinking mind, in Don't Know, like that. And this is objective of Zen, according to my teacher, to rest in not knowing, not understanding, in Don't Know Mind, in Don't Know, like that.